25 years ago, the Impact Fund was founded to meet the diverse strategic litigation needs of marginalized communities in pursuit of environmental and social justice. Now we are introducing a new solution for the diverse litigation needs of grassroots environmental groups, Just Earth. We empower grassroots advocates and marginalized communities to create meaningful, lasting change. In 2016, Standing Rock garnered media attention from around the world as Indigenous peoples fought against the construction of the Dakota Access Pipeline. Representatives of more than 300 Native nations traveled to North Dakota to join the Standing Rock Sioux in the largest gathering of Indigenous peoples in recent American history. Millions watched on social media as water protectors face repression from law enforcement and private hired security.
We are the people. You can't ignore us.
Lawsuits for a broad variety of claims, funded in part by a grant from the Impact Fund, are making their way through the courts in pursuit of justice. The predominantly senior and low-income community in Ocala, Hawaii, just downhill from a newly expanded mega dairy, began to notice the local waterways overrun with the smells of animal waste, carrying pollutants and dangerous bacteria like E. coli. Joining with the Center for Food Safety and assisted by a grant from the Impact Fund, the community group Kupale Ocala is suing the mega dairy under the Clean Water Act. They're seeking a court order and fines to stop improper management of animal waste on the island, which is adversely affecting their health. As the mega dairy represents just one corporation dumping toxic waste on Hawaiian communities, Kupale Ocala hopes to send a message to other big ag companies that local people won't allow their health to be jeopardized for profit. Residents of East Liverpool, Ohio, thought a new waste incinerator would bring jobs and spur the local economy. But the real story was one of pollution and corporate irresponsibility. Despite protests over the incinerator's close proximity to local schools and waterways, the waste facility was built. Cancer rates in the area rose well above national averages. In 2015, an explosive accident at the incinerator hurtled nearly half a ton of hazardous ash into the skies in a toxic pink cloud. With the help of an Impact Fund grant, residents teamed up with the lawyers at Fair Shake Environmental Legal Services to file a lawsuit under the Clean Air Act. After decades on the front lines, the activists at Save Our County won a victory. Heritage Thermal Services agreed to settle and to bring their facility under compliance. In 2015, 21 young people aged 8 to 19 years old sued the U.S. government. Their claim? That the government has for decades allowed and promoted the use of fossil fuels. This has led directly to increased CO2 in the atmosphere, which has caused disastrous climate change. The lawsuit, bolstered by a grant from the Impact Fund, seeks to compel the government to significantly reduce CO2 emissions under a national climate recovery plan. The kids have already won victories in lower courts. Judge Ann Aiken wrote in her order, "I have no doubt that the right to a climate system capable of sustaining human life is fundamental to a free and ordered society." The Impact Fund has been on the front lines making a difference for environmental justice for over 25 years. But the need has never been greater than it is today. This is why we are launching a new solution, Just Earth. This new program provides grants to support impact litigation across North America, particularly in cases affecting marginalized communities, including people of color, Indigenous peoples of the Americas, rural, and low-income communities. If you're an attorney or legal services nonprofit seeking funds for a case that has potential for broad systemic impact, we want to hear from you. To find out more and apply for a grant, please visit impactfund.org and join us in a new solution for environmental justice.